very intriguing. Very
Yeah.
intriguing because these are two guys that I still think show some promise.
Yes.
And
Yes.
obviously, I think Jamal Hill's kind of the shiny new toy. Johnny Walker's kind of the one that's missing an eye and had some crayon drawn or something. Like
Jamal is what Johnny once was not long ago.
in some ways, yes. And Johnny Walker still, every once in a while he shows that potential. The Ryan Spann fight, yes, I know it was dicey, but he gets that awesome finish with the elbows and the clinch. I mean, just great stuff. But then he follows that up with the performance he had against Thiago Santos. And that was the last main event we saw him in. It went all 5 rounds, despite the fact that you look at those two and you're like, oh, this is going to be fireworks.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker has made a very measured attempt at being a higher IQ, a highly skilled fighter, but he's missing kind of what got him there in the first place: his explosiveness, his
Yep.
athleticism, his power. He seems to be kind of compromising that in order to try to be a technical fighter,
Yep.
a smart fighter. That's all well and good. I think there's a balance. I don't think he needs to just come out like a bull in a china shop and perhaps get countered to oblivion. But I do think there is a balance that he just hasn't been able to find, and he's been changing up his training camps a lot. We were talking in the nosebleeds. He's been with John Kavanaugh. He's been with Faraz Zahabi for a time. Like and these all sound great. Like when you hear he's going with Zahabi, I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's about to
Yeah.
go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't. It's just not really working. So I think there's probably a lack of confidence. That Santos fight really told me just a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
His chin is a little iffy at times, and maybe going up against these high-powered opponents has kind of got him worried that if they gets into a bit of a swing and bang, he's not going to be able to withstand the punishment. And that's still the battle here. You're going up against a guy with a lot of power in Jamahal Hill, a guy with great striking.
Yes.
I mean, it's the battle really here. It's different. Like it's a different fight than Thiago Santos, but the questions remain the same. And if anything, they're just more pronounced now. Now you go, okay, he was kind of scared to get into the pocket with Thiago Santos. What's he going to do with Jamahal Hill? I think there's a way for Johnny Walker to win this fight. I really do. I think the odds are actually kind of a little bit too much in Jamahal Hill's favor.
I agree.
But based off what we've seen as of late, it's fair to assume that Jamahal Hill would win based on the fact that he has shown no fear to get into the pocket. He has shown no fear to get into a striking exchange. Has shown a good chin.
Yeah.
The only times he's faltered is when a fighter has been able to get him to the ground.
Yes.
And Paul Craig. Johnny Walker is not going to do that. But Johnny Walker does have the power to put someone like Jamahal Hill away. I truly believe that. It's just, I don't know if he's going to fight that fight, Dominic. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said in the nosebleeds, this fight, the outcome all comes down to one person, and it is Johnny Walker, because what version of him are we going to see? Are we going to see that guy that came in against Thiago Santos and really slowed it down, tried to be like precise and technical and patient, but like just didn't do anything and he lost at the end of the day, right? Or are we going to see that Johnny Walker who just comes out and gets into a firefight? Yeah, he may go down, but he can also knock your lights out too. Jamahal Hill, he always fights I know what I'm going to see from Jamahal Hill. He's going to come out. He's not like slow and methodical, but he is very just patient. And when he picks the shots, he lands. He's very precise and technical. And he has that just hidden power. I mean, you look at the guy compared to some of these other light heavyweights, especially like I can't wait to see these two across the cage from one another. Johnny Walker looks like he was, created out of marble. Jamahal Hill just looks like your average dude. But he has just as much power as Johnny Walker. I mean, he's one-punch KO'd people and put their lights out. His knockout against Jimmy Crute was brutal. So, and for what it's worth, we kind of said the winner of that Hill-Crute fight, that's who the UFC is going to back. That's who they're going to push for this light heavyweight division, at least that foreseeable future. And here's Jamahal Hill now getting to fight Johnny Walker, who once did have a lot of hype and is now just kind of looking to bounce back. It's a really interesting fight. It's one that is definitely going to play out on the feet. If there's grappling, I'll be utterly shocked in this one. But yeah, Jamahal Hill, a crazy big favorite. It did surprise me at first, but the more Noah talks about it and you look at when you compare their most recent fight, it makes sense. I can't help but agree with that. But it could be a coming out party for Jamahal Hill to really prove that he's here. And for Johnny, it's just he needs to answer a lot of questions. Like, what can we see from you? What can we expect from you? Are you ever going to get to where we once said you could be? So there's a lot of pressure here, in my opinion, on Johnny Walker.
True, a lot of pressure. And up to this point, I don't think he's handled pressure very well.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it seemed like right when his stardom got to its peak is where
Yep.
everything kind of just fell into. I mean, it's not like it's past the point of no return. I mean, I don't want to act like it's been like a terrible drop off. I just think that he just hasn't been what we thought he was going to be. But he did have some crazy expectations at one time. People won't remember now or won't admit to having this take, but there were people that really believed he was the guy to beat John Jones.
Yep.
Hell, he might have been at that time.
True.
But it's just, I think it's a lot in his own head, and I don't have those same questions about Jamahal Hill.
No, not at
Jamahal
all.
Hill definitely could get bested here, but I don't think it's going to be because he mentally wasn't in this fight.
Yes.